Welcome to the final part of repairing a 2-inch scale Fowler traction engine. This one is part 11, the final live steam test as the owner arrives to collect the engine. The owner was due to pick up the engine at 1 o'clock, and sure enough, at 1 o'clock he arrived very promptly. To speed up the job, I started raising steam about 12:15, so by 1 o'clock there was just about enough steam to run the engine. At this point I turned the burner off because I presumed that the owner and his partner would like a cup of tea or coffee before they came into the workshop. After the tea break, we're all now sat in the workshop. You can't see us, I just need you to see the engine, that's the important bit. This clip is a bit misleading. What you can see coming from the chimney is not exhaust steam, it's just condensation steam caused by the gas burner inside the firebox. What I'm doing in this clip is testing the functionality of the hand pump in the bunker. In no time at all, the water level in the gauge glass starts to rise. On this traction engine, it's very important to remember that the crankshaft driven pump and the hand pump share the same feed into the boiler. And for that reason, the water bypass valve on the crankshaft driven pump needs to be closed. If it's open, all you're doing is pumping water out of the bunker tank, around the pipework and back into the bunker tank, not into the boiler. With the water bypass valve closed, as you can see, the water's been fed into the boiler and it's getting higher in the water gauge. Currently there's absolutely no pressure in the boiler. I'll take this time to lubricate around all the moving parts. I'm lubricating everything on this engine using steam oil. And this is very important when lubricating anything that has a silicone O-ring, like the ram on the crankshaft driven pump. If you watched the previous episode, you will know that this ram has a silicone rubber seal. And the additives in certain oils such as machine oil and motor oil can actually attack the silicone rubber. Nothing is registering on the pressure gauge, but I thought I would open the regulator and turn the engine over, not forgetting to open the drain cocks. And as you can see, as I rotate the engine, there's a bit of steam but a lot of water coming out of the cylinder, and that's the purpose of drain cocks, to drain the water out. Once the cylinder gets hot, you can close them. And even though there's not enough steam to move the pressure gauge, there's enough to move the piston. The engine is running quite well. This was the time when I turned the gas off, because it's almost 1 o'clock, and as I mentioned previously, I would like to make the customers a cup of tea. The timing of the customers was impeccable. At exactly 1 o'clock I walked out of the workshop and there they were, parked in my drive. Suitably refreshed, we left the house and came back into the workshop. I turned on the gas burner and now there is some pressure showing on the gauge, as you've just seen. I'm purposely keeping the water level as low as possible because the heat from this gas burner is not very much really. I've opened the steam valve to the water lifter. With one end of it in the water bottle on the bench, it soon fills up the bunker tank. Here it is, just about to overflow. It's time now to test the injector. I'm not sure about this injector. I know the water valve's good because I've just replaced that. The injector's an old one that I've had for many years that I think works, and because it's the Queen's 70th Jubilee, all the shops have been shut, so I haven't been able to get a replacement. The odd thing is the injector seems to work, and even though it's dribbling, it is actually filling the boiler. And oddly enough, I have exactly the same problem with my 4.5-inch scale traction engine. The injector plays up and it dribbles quite a lot. It still puts some water into the boiler, but it's too dribbly. They're supposed to dry up and make that lovely noise. This injector does not dry up completely, but at least it's trying to fill the boiler. From the customer's point of view, he's not too bothered. He uses the crankshaft driven pump most of the time, and the hand pump is fully functional too. You'll be pleased to know I'm not going to talk all the way through this steam test. Before I go, I would just like to say, stay safe, stay healthy, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. please take the time to visit my main Steam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.